Welcome back. Today we're diving deep into styling Lightning web components.
Yeah.
And if you've looked into this, you know it's kind of a balancing act.
You really
You're basically juggling these two sometimes opposing ideas.
Yeah.
Super strict CSS isolation on one hand, and then the need to conform to the Salesforce Lightning Design System, SLDS, on the other.
Absolutely. And getting that foundation right is, well, everything. The absolute core concept you have to wrap your head around for LWC styling is the shadow DOM.
Right, the shadow DOM standard.
Yeah, it's what gives you that really strong component isolation, which is fantastic for, preventing styles from clashing.
It can also be a headache when you need things to interact visually.
Exactly. That isolation is powerful, but comes with challenges.
So that shadow DOM. That's why the CSS you write in your components.css file stays strictly local, yeah.
Precisely. Your styles won't leak out and mess up the rest of the page.
And just as importantly, global styles from the page, or maybe a parent component, they don't leak in either. It really guarantees your component looks how you designed it, internally at least.
Right, which is generally what you want.
But okay, here's the common pain point I hear about. If the styles are so locked down, what happens when I just need to, say, put a margin around my component?
Yeah.
Or make it take up the full width? Style the component itself on the page.
Yeah, that's where the nuance kicks in. See, your component's own CSS file, it can't directly see or style the custom tag, the container element it lives inside.
Okay.
So that's why we have the .host pseudo class selector. It's pretty much essential. Often it's the only way from inside your component CSS to control those block level layout things for the component as a whole.
So .host is for styling the box the component comes in, like setting display, block, margins, maybe a border.
Exactly that. It targets the host element, the custom tag itself, from within its own shadow tree.
Okay, got it. So we've got this strict boundary, but what about content we pull into the component using a slot? That content comes from outside the boundary.
Right, and that's where the isolation creates another challenge.
How do we style that stuff? We don't own it technically.
You can't, not with standard CSS selectors targeting elements inside your component's CSS file anyway. The shadow boundary blocks that.
So what's the trick?
The sources are clear on this. You have to use the slotted pseudo element specifically designed for this. Yeah. So if you say slot in an H2 and you want all slotted H2 elements to be italic, your CSS rule would need to be slotted H2 font style .italic.
I see. It's like reaching specifically across the boundary just for slotted content.
Exactly. It's a targeted workaround for that strict encapsulation rule.
Okay, so shadow DOM gives us isolation. .host styles the container, slotted styles incoming content. What about the other big piece? Conformity, making it look like Salesforce.
Right. That's where the Salesforce Lightning Design System, SLDS, comes in. And the guidance is pretty strong here. You really should prefer using SLDS over writing your own custom CSS whenever possible.
To keep that consistent user experience.
Yeah.
So it feels native.
Precisely. Users expect things to look and behave a certain way within Salesforce. SLDS is the toolkit for that.
And SLDS isn't just one thing, is it? I mean, we can break it down. You've got utility classes.
Yeah, utility classes are fundamental. Think of them as low-level, single-purpose styling hooks. You apply them directly in your HTML template.
Like sailed text heading medium for text size, or sails them around medium for spacing.
Exactly. Or layout helpers like Seld's Grid. They're atomic, doing one small thing well.
And these are great for rapid development, aren't they? You can often build out a whole layout structure just using SLDS utility classes in the HTML without even opening the CSS file.
Absolutely. They're incredibly efficient for that. Then the second major part is the component blueprints.
Component blueprints, so these are more complex.
Yeah, these are predefined combinations of SLDS classes that style entire UI patterns, like getting a standard Salesforce button might involve using SLD button and SLD button brand together.
Or styling a whole content box using SLD's card.
Right. Blueprints give you those bigger, recognizable Salesforce UI elements quickly.
And the cool thing is you can mix and match, yeah. Use SLDS classes in the HTML, like adding SLD's card. But also define your own custom classes, maybe like .custom-container in your component CSS file for overrides or extra styling.
Totally. That's standard practice. Apply SLDS for the base look and feel in the template, then use your component CSS for specific adjustments or unique styles within that component, as long as you respect the boundary.
Yes, the boundary rule again, which basically says you cannot reach into another LWC and override its internal styles, right? Whether they're SLDS styles or custom ones inside that other component.
Correct. That shadow DOM boundary is firm. We've all probably wasted time trying to use important or complex selectors thinking we could force our way in. Yeah, me too. But you realize it's a structural barrier enforced by the Shadow DOM, not just a CSS specificity issue. You simply can't style across that boundary into another component's internals.
So your options for controlling how things look are really limited to styling things inside your own component CSS.
Yep.
Or using .hode to affect your component's container, like its position or size on the page.
That's pretty much it for direct styling across components, which leads us naturally to future-proofing and best practices.
Okay.
The sources really point towards design tokens as the ultimate best practice now.
The CSS custom properties that SLDS provides.
Yeah.
Like LWC color text icon default or LWC spacing X small.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Using these tokens means you're not hard-coding pixel values or hex codes. You're referencing semantic variables that SLDS manages.
Which is huge, right? Because it decouples your component styling from the specific visual values.
Yeah.
If the Salesforce theme updates or you need different spacing in a different context.
Your component potentially adapts automatically because it's referencing the token, not a fixed value. It makes things way more maintainable and theme-friendly.
It seems like the most robust, scalable way to handle styling, especially in larger apps. It's the official direction.
Definitely. It's designed for that kind of flexibility and long-term management.
So we've covered a lot: the isolation of Shadow DOM, styling the host, handling slots, leveraging SLDS utilities and blueprints, respecting boundaries, and now using design tokens. It's about balancing that encapsulation with conformity.
It is, which brings up a final thought to leave you with. If design tokens are the way forward, relying on these abstract names instead of concrete values, how does that actually change how you plan for things like accessibility compliance or theme updates across your whole application?
That's interesting.
And maybe more practically, beyond the obvious color or spacing tokens, what specific SLDS design tokens should you prioritize learning first to get the most immediate impact on building robust, future-proof layouts? Something to think about.